Hello and welcome to another Sunday meal prep video. So this is the little meal prep sheet that I had linked in my last video. I can link it again, but these were all the things that I wanted to get done this week. So I started with the tofu. I had a couple different recipes for this week that used tofu, so I just wanted to divide it up and prepare it in the different ways so that it was all set for the week when I needed to go and use it. So I'm just reserving a chunk because I need some for tofu scramble later in the week. And then one half of the smaller block I'm going to bread in cubes, and the other half I'm going to bread in little like nuggets. And then I'm going to be making breakfast tofu for some eggs benedict later in the week. So in that bowl, I'm just adding some breadcrumbs. I actually make my own breadcrumbs out of Cheerios. I just blend up Cheerios. I feel like it comes the best with tofu because it's really fine. And I just add some garlic salt. You don't have to add anything else to bread the tofu. You could just stick the tofu in there. It's moist enough that it absorbs the Cheerio crumbs, and then when you bake it in the oven, it does get really crispy. It's not like soggy at all. So I just laid those nugget shapes on a parchment lined baking sheet along with the little tofu cubes, and then I baked those in the oven at like 400 for maybe 35 minutes until they were all crispy. Now for the breakfast tofu, I'm making a spice rub, and I'm adding nutritional yeast, black salt, which is what gives it that like eggy flavor because it has sulfur in it. Some turmeric for that nice yellow color. And then you also have to add black pepper because it activates the turmeric. And I also added some garlic salt. So once I have that spice rub all mixed together, I just rub it on both sides of the tofu and bake that in the oven as well until it's nice and firm. The next thing I wanted to get started were some mashed potatoes for some barbecue mashed potato bowls. So I'm just peeling, dicing, washing, and boiling up some russet potatoes, and then I'm going to mash them and add them to the base of my barbecue bowls. So along with having eggs benedict one night this week for dinner, I also wanted to make some eggs benedict freezer meal kits. So I'm just taking this Light Life vegan ham and I'm dividing it into portions for each serving of eggs benedict. And I had also made a vegan hollandaise sauce. I can link the recipe that I used below, but instead of cashews, I used almonds. And I just divided that into bags as well. And then in each one of the freezer meal kits, I'm going to put 2 English muffins, 1 serving for me and 1 serving for my husband. And then I'm going to add the eggy flavored tofu. Now for my husband, I'll make him actual eggs. And then I put in the vegan ham as well as ham for my husband. And then each one is going to get a packet of the hollandaise sauce. And these I just keep in my freezer, and whenever we want to eat that, this is something that could be thawed out like the day before in the refrigerator, and then I would just assemble it that night and serve it with some veggies on the side. So by this time, all of my tofu was cooked up, so I have these really nice glass containers that are divided, so it's really easy for me to put 2 different things in there and they don't touch. So I put my cubed tofu as well as my tofu nuggets in the same container, and I'm just going to leave this in the refrigerator for the week, and then when I go to serve it, I'll just heat it up in the oven and it crisps right back up. I also had enough time to throw together some lunches for my husband for the week, and I just keep those in the refrigerator. Now the next thing I'm doing is working on my barbecue mash bowls. So I just use shredded carrots. So I just steam those in the microwave for about 5 minutes and add barbecue sauce, and it's really that simple. The texture's there. They still are kind of crunchy. They're not like super soft, but if you wanted them to be like super soft, you could always steam them for a little bit longer. So into these freezer safe containers, I just divided out my mashed potatoes into 4 servings, and then 2 of them I'm going to put my carrots on top, and then in the back you can see I have one of my divided containers, and I'm going to put the 3rd serving of the barbecue carrots in there because I'm going to be making barbecue loaded fries one day. So I'm just going to put my barbecue carrots and my husband's barbecue chicken in the same container that doesn't touch and throw that in the freezer until the night that we make those fries. Now for these 4 meals, 1 we're having this week and 1 I'm throwing in the freezer, so that's another freezer meal that's just going to be waiting for us whenever we have a busy day. So that was everything I managed to make for this week. I hope you guys enjoyed this meal prep video. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe,